Hi there, a quick visit to the football markets for you tonight. My usual caveat, I am not a football trader, so take everything I'm about to say with a pinch of salt. However, it's not really a football strategy I want to discuss, it's something that you should apply to all your trading. And that is, try and keep everything simple. For example, in football, there's lots of strategies you'll come across online where you'll go into a particular market and do something, place a bet, and then depending on what happens in the match, you go off to another market and do something else. And if something else happens in the match, you then turn your monitor upside down, give it a good shake, do the hokey cokey and turn around, and everything will be hunky-dory. The moral of this particular video is you should really try and keep things simple. Always check, if you're going to be working in the football markets in particular, is there an easier way of doing the same thing? For example, in the correct score market, there's a relatively popular strategy where you Dutch the 0-0, 0-1 and 1-0 score lines. But that's exactly the same as backing the unders in the 1.5 market. So let's do a little comparison between the two. With this strategy, generally what you would do is you would trade out 10 minutes into the match, assuming there hasn't been a goal. And what you should realise is approximately 10% return on your overall stake. I'm going to compare the two, and hopefully we won't get a goal in this Slovakia-Northern Ireland match in the first 10 minutes. So let's first of all set up the Dutch. So we've got a Dutch 0-0, 0-1 and 1-0. So that's going to give me £147 if I was to let this run through to its conclusion. Now if we switch to the over under 1.5 market and back at 2.56 for the same stake as £100, you'll see we've got 152, so slightly better return if we were to let the match play out. Okay, so we'll take those into the match, and I'll come back near the 10-minute mark and hopefully we won't have a goal, and we'll see what the trade out positions are like in comparison. Okay, we're coming up to the 10-minute mark. As you can see, first of all, we've got far less than the 10% target profit at 10% at the 10-minute mark. That may just be a fact of my random selection for this match rather than doing any research. But let's just green out for a fiver there and switch to the under overs market, and you'll see we can green up for 11 quid. So clearly it's more sensible to go into the simpler market of the over-unders rather than doing things in the correct score market. Now if you look at the volume in the over-unders, we've got 25,000, whereas the correct score, the overall volume, is 33,000. However, that 33,000 is spread thinly across all 19 selections, and so trading out is that much more difficult. But really what I wanted to bring to you with this particular video was, especially when you're trading football, check that what you're doing can't be done in a simpler way, and clearly going to the over-unders market is a much more sensible thing to do rather than Dutching the 0-0, 0-1 and 1-0 score lines. Anyway, a little novelty for you this evening. I shall catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.